Sorry, guys. Hold on. Hold my arm. No. Sorry, guys. Forgot to remind you. You get the time. 3, 4, About the same. Yeah. A little further out. Close.
So joining you live from the K&J Mendex Warm Room here at the Bucks County Curling Club in Warminster, Pennsylvania. Welcome you to the 5:45 p.m. draw of the Big Buckin Bonspiel 2019. Dave Schmellen. Not quite as much commentary this week as I'm running this deal. But here on Sheet B, our featured game, which you've been watching, is Trevor Gal from the Triangle Curling Club against Joe and Jelly from the Plainfield Curling Club in their second game of pool play. And we're in the fourth end. It is Trevor Gal with a 5-0 lead, having taken 2 in the first, stolen a single point in the second, and 2 more points in the third. Taking a look at some of the other action on our ice. We do have Pittsburgh in double barrel, holding a 4-0 lead after posting 2 ends. They are playing the fourth end. The third is not yet posted. Over on Sheet C, it is Bucks County Curling Club with Steve Johnson and the His and Hers crew, holding a 6-1 lead after 3 ends. And with action in the fourth end on Sheet D, it is Ardsley Curling Club skipped by Tim Klein with a 5-2 lead. Ardsley did score 5 in the first end. Plainfield answered back with 2, and they had a blank in the third, and it's the fourth end there. So back here to our featured sheet, it is Plainfield sitting the shot stone right now, and looks like Joe is asking for a 2-3 guard. From Ali Coluccio. It's been a great day of action here at the Big Buckin Bonspiel. We've had a good day of play. Everybody's sitting around relaxing, trading smiles, and having a good time. Dinner's out. We've had a nice cookout meal with some grilled corn, Speedies, a shot didn't land as intended, so now Trevor is going to try to strike back and delete that stone. Trevor makes that hit. It hits and it sticks. Leaves Triangle sitting 2. Now Joe has his first skip rock, and I'm joined in the booth by your friend of mine, fine member of Bucks County Curling Club, Joe Weber. Good evening, Joe.
How you doing, Dan?
I am super fantastic. We'll get your level here right.
That's all right. Thanks. Check, check, check.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely fantastic.
Awesome.
So how's your weekend been going so far?
Pretty good. Pretty good. 2-0. Good start.
Excellent, excellent. And who's on your team?
I got Zach Gary skipping us, Mike Dunham doing the vice, and we got I'm throwing second, and Ken Siebert is our lead.
And with the exception of Ken, you guys, that's the returning champion team.
It is. Bill Lawfer was our lead last year. He's gonna fill in for me tomorrow. Get him back on the ice too.
Absolutely. Okay, so here it's Joe Angeli's first skip stone here. He's facing 2. He's going to try to pop and flop here. Joe throwing the blue rocks. My colleague in the booth wishing that we used a larger point size.
Oh, yes. That's a lot of names on a tiny sheet of paper.
Well, we switched from the whole pamphlet to little sheet. Tim Wood did a nice job on it. So, at least triangle sitting 1. Well undercovered. And really with the opportunity to put the nail in the coffin here.
Now, how did these two teams fare in their first game?
Well, in their first game, let's see here. Both teams did win their first game.
Okay.
And the team from Plainfield actually is the leader in the pool in the draw shot challenge with a score of 3/4 of an inch.
Wow. Was that an oversweep or an undersweep there, Dave?
A little bit under from what I saw. They probably could have pinned it. We did have a team pin it this year.
Yeah.
Leave no stone unturned, pinned it in this draw. The first time that has happened in 4 years at the Big Buckin Bonspiel.
Wow. I'm just glad we didn't throw ours through.
So Trevor Gall here is looking to draw on in, possibly for a second point, but more importantly to protect his shot stone. Trevor's been making some dalliances on the competitive circuit. The shot's making its way down. The front end likes the weight.
Get a little rub.
Well, it looks like the path is still there to get to it, but that'd be one hell of a tight port to get into.
Not with any weight.
Right, absolutely. Probably split the difference here. There we go.
All right.
Just didn't want to get too much breathing. All right, so Joe's thinking, maybe do I draw in or do I try to tap it out and try to score 2? You're down by 5 now in the fourth end, so you can't, you're starting to run out of ends. You can't afford to give up too much here.
So what was the final decision? That broom doesn't look like a
And looks like,
draw.
This looks tappy.
Looks like tap, yeah.
So let's see what weight Joe comes out with. All right. I think we're doing directional stuff here. Looks back line-ish. Oh, now it's starting to dig in. I'd be going. It's coming on down. It's going to get to the second shot rock and tap it up. A nice promote for a score of 1. So Plainfield on the board after 4 ends. It's 5-1.
Yes, like that with like shot.
So one time I was at the Golden Gate Bonspiel, and Joe Angeli brought a team out there. And when he was getting ready to go out on the ice, Joe said, "Dave, do you have any advice for me?" And I said, "Joe, try not to suck."
Did he take that advice?
No, he sucked. I only say that because I have a bevy of Plainfield curlers in front of me. And getting razzed by Patty here. He can just go back to exit 8. Now, Joe has a great way of calling a game. I was at the Francis Dykes once, and I'm playing against him. And he would just put his broom down and say, "In!"
That's it.
Indicating that he wants the stoner to be in the house. And when he went in the guard, he said, "Not in!"
He didn't care so much about the location. Just
in, not in. So that wanted to be a 3 guard. It wanted to be not in. Unfortunately, it's decidedly
drifted
in.
Yes.
So
This is gonna miss though.
Oh. Now, question for you. I think if you could throw the perfect tap here, you'd get both.
You would.
You get the guard.
And you get the guard, yeah.
And that does appear to be the call. That's a broom for it. Taking about 3 feet of ice. So with backline weight, that should be kosher. We got Jeff and Dan sweeping. Jeff and Allie, rather. So we're going to come up. And that is also in.
It is also in, yeah.
So now we're going to get another shot at this hit here. Trevor says make it go boom.
I guess they got caught between sweeping for the tap and giving up once it was offline.
I think so. Because that could have been okay. So, elevator Chris Wishart is sweeping this. And they will make the double there and leave a guard. Now, if you're Joe here, you need to either throw a guard or utilize the guard, and he is calling for a guard. I like this.
Changing the call there? He did
Yes,
tap
yes,
T-line
yes,
behind
yes,
there.
yes.
Yeah.
Apparently now we want in.
In.
Dinner's just about done here. We had a great one this evening. Shout out to Cassie, New Dave, Sunidrak, Julia Pring, and all the folks, and Danielle Gelman, and all the folks who helped to make dinner happen tonight. And our earlier shift with Bob White, and and can't forget Graham. So that's taken right out. So now right here, Joe it's starting to. Asking Jeff whether he wants to draw down to it or draw underneath. Both good choices. It'd be easy to be tempted into throwing hits right now, but you can't score a lot of points throwing hits.
It is tempting. It's sitting right there, so wide open, and you get greedy. You think, oh, I can just hit and roll right behind that guard.
But the hit and roll is so damn tough. That looks like it has some work to do.
It's pretty wide.
Now here it takes the curl. Allie sweeping to hold it. They're trying to freeze weld right onto the stone that's there. Need to get right to it. Want to get right to it. Right to it. Down to it. Yes.
Nice. Really good weight there.
That's a well-judged shot. Now Trevor is content to play Christmas tree here. Asking Elevator Chris to draw down to it. If you don't know the story, seek somebody out who knows it and find out.
I only just found out about it last night.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
Yes.
He is proudly wearing his Elevator Chris name tag. And this curling does have its ups and downs. This one's going to over curl. Now you have a chance to bury it underneath now.
Not a bad miss.
Not a bad miss at all. So I think if you're Joe, you have to come down to that. Joe presenting his options to his vice, Ali Coluccio. It might just as well be Coluccio, and if that's the case, I apologize. This needs to bend, but here it comes.
It is. I think
Taking the curl.
in.
Taking the curl, get past the first one, threading the needle, and that is a well-thrown stone. Now, from our vantage point here behind the hacks, I can see about 3/4 of the stone. Ken Sievert sees that he doesn't have a beard, and that's frustrating him.
Looks like you're going to sit on it instead of go for the hit. That's probably right. I think if you hit it,
it looks like it wants to jam.
You run into a jam.
Yep. Definitely looks like it wants to jam, so. It's actually a window of opportunity here for Plainfield because this is a tough shot to follow down. Stones away. Sweepers want no part of it. Taking the curl. Will it get past the top one? Will it get past both of them? Yes, it will. And a fabulous shot. But that shot rock is fully exposed right now. It's as exposed as Mike Mamula was. Well, Allie just slid 4 feet wide. So she knows it. And right now, Trevor Gall from Triangle sitting 1 and 2 with hammer. I think you throw a center line guard here. Joe, what do you say?
I like center line, maybe just off center there.
Yep. That is indeed the call. asking his vice Garth Mashman. The world famous Bucks County Curling Club gummy bears are being distributed.
How long have they been soaking?
Oh, long enough to have received about 2,250 milliliters of wisdom.
Well, they didn't get the guard, but they got a third shot.
That's not a bad miss. And this is real tough for Joe, because if he makes a double he wants to, he might jam off his own in the rear. I never want to...
Yeah.
Caught myself there, guys. Okay. This is a pretty tight port. He's asking for a little bit less ice. My experience is every time I move the broom from the hack, I miss. Doesn't stop me from doing it, but what can I say? I'm simple that way.
So you might have flicked it out back to where the original broom was anyway.
They're real close. It's real close. They got to get by the front one and jam square on the back.
As predicted.
Leaving the situation exactly the same. And remember, it is triangle with Hammer throwing the Redstones here with a 4-point lead. Taking a look around the barn real quick, Bucks County Curling Club with Steve Johnson has scored 3 and stolen 1 to take a 10-1 lead over the Cold Crackers from Anthracite. It's a score of 1 in the fourth end to make it 6-2 in favor of Plainfield with Mark Mooney. And it is still Pittsburgh holding on to a 4-2 lead after giving up a steal after 4 ends of play.
So here they're looking to guard that promote. I think they just want to protect what they got.
Working hard to try to push it over directionally. It's still there. It's not easy for sure.
No. The only other option might be to come around the outside. Just draw one down to shot, maybe. Cut him down that way.
Yeah, it looks like Joe wants to tap here.
The tap's the only way to score. Drawing around is unlikely to get you a shot.
Now he is at least looking at the angle to draw in. Or maybe you can throw a little cutesy downweight hit.
Right? Come like back line, hack.
You just need to move it into the white, get your own stone to touch some yellow. Okay, now we're doing angle stuff from there, and that's starting to scare me.
I guess he didn't like the outside play.
No, probably not.
So when you start looking at this is home run.
Oh, this is win or go home. You know, this is. I didn't win the Briar last year, but I did stay in I am staying in the Holiday Inn Express Warminster, which is our fine featured host hotel, featuring all suites, hot breakfast, and accommodating to broom stacking.
Always important.
Oh, I flat out, when I signed the first contract with them, I flat out said, I'm bringing a whole bunch of drunks to your hotel. To which their response was, Well, you can't throw your stones down the hallway like the hockey players do. I said, yes, sir, you are correct. And they've been fine partners ever since. We're happy to have them.
Still fun to watch. I'm very fun to watch.
Okay, so.
That's some pretty good weight coming at it.
Yeah,
That's more than a
decent.
tap.
Yeah, decent weight, double angle raise, off the one into the other, and it makes contact with the intended stone, but the object rock rolls away, and it's going to be. They're sitting 2 right now, and Trevor has an open hit for 3. That's what he's taking. Trevor Gal from the Triangle Curling Club goes to approximately 97 bonspiels per year.
And wears those pants at all of them, right?
He has a selection.
Okay.
I mean, our fashion segment is in the early draw, so. And after a flirtatious relationship with the hog line, the stone's on its way. They're on it. They think they got to go. They make the hit. They make the roll, and count them up 1, 2, and 3 for Triangle. So that's a score of 8-1 after 5 hens in favor of Trevor Gal and the Ghost of Triangle.
Is there a story behind the name Ghosts?
No, I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue on that one.
You didn't assign that name.
No,
Okay.
There's some names that, as the Spiel chairs here at Bucks, we take liberties at times with people who don't give us team names. I didn't have one for our Cape Cod team, and Chuck Barnes was a skip, and Chuck is quite the real estate agent, so I just made his name Chuck Sells Houses. Let's see, what other creative ones did I come up with here? Well, we have the Untouchables with Uncle Touchy from former Bucks County Curling.
Yes. Did you assign that, or did Touchy do that?
And Touchy forgot his name tag. We bought him a beautiful name tag, Uncle Touchy. Now I don't know where my drunk uncle name tag is, but I guess that's assumed that would happen, right? Like, for example, I bought Elevator Chris 3 Elevator Chris name tags.
Just in case.
Correct. So Trevor plays the first stone into the house. As you would do with the lead, you want to... No guards. Guards are bad if you are a Triangle. Calls the second one to come right on in. And the curlers are still eating like locusts. Means it's good, right?
Yeah, what are the kebabs? They chicken or?
They're chicken. They're Speedies.
Okay.
Speedies, the upstate New York, classically a Binghamton dish. Basically, it's marinated chicken with onions and peppers in a special Speedy sauce, which is marketed in special bottles and such. It's basically Italian salad dressing.
With a fancy name.
With a fancy name, but don't tell that to anybody from New York. I'm sure, we're not watching the chat right now, but I'm sure I'm getting flamed. Last year, Speedies are usually served as a sandwich on a roll. So last year we grilled this them on the skewers and had them out in the steam on the chafing dishes with rolls, and nobody put them on a roll, which left us with 200 extra rolls for Sunday.
Whoops.
Yep. And that's why we ended up making hoagie roll French toast sticks, which actually worked somehow.
So the last one, Joe called a hit instead of throwing up a guard there. Sort of got baited into chasing a bit, right?
Yeah, that's really not what you want to do. But if Joe has an opportunity to make this into a pair of corner guards for himself. Okay, there you go. So he's got one in now. Yeah, you got to make a freeze now, because you don't. If you make this freeze, it's a freeze under cover, and then you can work on it later. You have to score 3 or 4. 2's no good.
No.
And there's no good plan to score 3 or 4. Usually requires some help along the way.
You need some lucky rolls and a little bit of bad luck on the part of the other team, maybe. That pick, that looks like it really dove.
It definitely does look like we caught a pick there.
I thought that wasn't narrow out of his hand.
I find that, now that's not in our ice, because we just installed the ice and we did 24 floods of deionized water, and we literally changed into full body suits to flood the ice. What I find at this Bonspiel is sometimes folks are using the equipment that they used the prior season.
Right.
And those grippers are of not the proper integrity at this point.
No, I know when I'm out there, I'm picking up rubber. I was picking up rubber all day today.
So everybody, do yourself and your icemen a favor when you go out to curl. The next time you do, buy a new gripper.
The van's here right now.
Yeah, if you're here right now, Brooms Up.
Brooms Up.
Brooms Up is here. If you're a member of Bucks, we always have a supply of them in the club store. For both left-handed and right-handed folks, so that's never an issue. We sell them at the same price that they come off the truck for.
You don't have to wait for a spiel.
There's no shipping. I've often argued that we should increase and Gary's actually said from Brooms Up, Gary is a great steward of curling, and we're a big fan of Brooms Up here at Bucks County. He's very nice to drive on down and bring his mobile store with us all the time. But he's actually offered that if a club would increase their membership by the wholesale cost, the wholesale cost of a gripper, he would provide at cost a gripper to every member, just for the good of the game and keeping the ice right. And then, maybe if you need a broom or something else, you might
visit him, right?
Maybe you might buy one from Gary. Sorry.
I've purchased all my equipment from Gary. Brooms, shoes, gloves, whatever.
He's been known to send, somebody 3 pairs of shoes and say, send me back the ones you're not buying.
Curling Zappos, is that what we have there?
Yep. So Joe's looking to draw one in here. The call is in. Over on sheet A, Sam Sparks appears to have sobered up somewhat. Shot here from Alley looks a skosh heavy.
And a bit wide, I'm going to get old.
Got me on the long guard.
He's going to end up guarding the shot rock.
Yeah, so that's there now. On sheet A, let's see here. We have a score of 1 for Brian Stewart skipping Pittsburgh. So they lead 5-2. You always have to check, because sometimes it's Brian, sometimes it's Daphne. You never know who's skipping. You just know that Leonard's always throwing third. And it's still a runaway for the his and hers crew of Bucks County with the 10-1 score. And now it's a 3 spot. And by the way, that is a final now on sheet C. So it is Steve Johnson and the his and hers crew over the Cold Crackers, sketched by Brendan Jackson. Congratulations to them. But it is a big score of 3 for Ardsley to make that a 6-5 game. So things are getting a lot more interesting over on sheet D. Back to our feature game. Joe calls appeal.
I think they're going to miss that.
Yeah, it was well, a few skoshas narrow there. And through it sails. Let's see. Have my official draw board in front of me. So triangle setting 3 without hammer, but looking pretty darn good. Trevor's just going to lay up a guard here.
I think there was some discussion about bringing it all the way in to the house.
Okay.
Maybe that was a plan B. Pretty heavy for a guard. So. All right.
Or
wow. So it leaves this open. They can get the hit, unless they get the miracle double there. I think they'll still be just second.
shake there. These have to get a shake.
I know, we had a shake there. I figured these were getting. Just, I'm asking for a.
Oh, he gets the wick. It was wide. He gets the little wick off of the guard. Still,
it's its second shot.
Still just sitting second.
Wide open, however. Clearing the tripping hazard outside the house. We just worked to figure out our last logistics for our folks coming off the ice, making sure they had some hot, fresh food. Trevor threw this one with a boatload of heat and
gets the same wick. Gets the same wick.
Oh, man. He has done some good living. And He's like, yep, okay, yeah. Well, that's just some clean living there. Morton Salt, when it rains, it pours. Let's see here. Joe, I'm going to leave you in the captain's chair here as I need to. We got about 90 seconds left on our clock, and it looks like I'm going to have to rule some of these games to be 7-end games, so I shall return.
Right, and very important on that tight one over there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be a thing.
All right, so the last rock here, at least for Plainfield, I think it's just a draw. They just need to get, really the only play is to get something under cover. Just not going to come back the way they wanted to. And that's that. They're not going to have triangle throw the last shot. That will do it. Wrap this one up here. Triangle takes the win over Plainfield. Just a quick run around before we end things. That so that Plainfield Ardsley game, which is 6-5 at the moment in favor of Plainfield, they're in the 6th end, but they're only going to get to play 7. And they are down to skipstones.
And they know they're going to play this end and just one more. But on our feature game, it was Trevor Gallen Triangle with the win over Plainfield.
Puts them in the driver's seat to get into the A.
Absolutely, and we'll look forward to their next game, which will be Saturday at 10:15 a.m.
That's reasonable.
Absolutely. So, for my good friend Joe Weber, our engineer Jimmy Fannin, I'm Dave Schmel. We'll be back with you later. Have a pleasant evening.